Hello, Ava. So, Malik has been telling me that you want to make a hat, and I am so glad that I've inspired you to crochet because crocheting makes me very happy. I figured that I would make you a video of the very first part because when I learned how to do this first part, everything was easy because before that, I used to make really, really lumpy hats all the time. So, hopefully this will help you not make lumpy hats like I did. Okay, so this is how I hold it. Okay, in the beginning I do something called a magic loop. So I take and I make a loop and I make sure that the thing from the back, the longer part, is in front. This is in back. So I put it in, I hook it in, and it's kind of hard to hold on to, but I crochet 2 chains. Then I have this magical little loop. And then into that loop I do 8 half double crochets, which is I do a yarn over and I pull through all 3 at once. But you could also do this with double crochets or whatever crochets you want. But I do this short stitch because that's how I did Malik's basket weave stitch. So from this magic loop thing you can get a lot of, you can get the start of any adult hat, because if you want it to be bigger, you're going to use a bigger needle basically. You know, I use a size I, which is this size. So if you used a chunkier needle, it would make the hat much bigger, but this hat is already much bigger. So sometimes I'll use a much smaller needle than this, and I'll still work 8 stitches into the magic ring, and I'll still, you know, have a hat, but it's smaller, more like a women's size. So yeah, let's see how many I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that when you're going in that you're grabbing both this like one that's out here and the loop, so that you are going through 2. Alright, I'm going to count my stitches, make sure I have 8 because I've been talking to you. Alright, so from this point I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull it, and that's going to make everything into a nice perfect little magic loop. So to begin with, hold on, you're not going to go around and make an end to your stitch. You're not going to go around and then stop and then slip stitch and then start a new one, you know, chain around, chain around. This one you're just going to go around, and then you're just going to continue without stopping, without making any extra stitches, and you're just going to go around and around and around until you have, you know, a certain amount of width to it. So what I do is I use a bobby pin and I put it right here so that I know that that's where it should end, and that's where the next section would start. Even though I'm not going to stop, that's where it would start. Okay, so into this next one I'm going to go 2 stitches of whatever I'm doing into the same spot. So I'm doing half double crochets, so I do 2 half double crochets in the same hole all the way around. So then 2 and 2, so that by the end and by the time you get back to the bobby pin you should have 16 stitches of whatever stitch you're doing. Make sure that you're holding your yarn really loose, because if you make this first part super tight, your whole hat's going to be really hard to work with. So try and make the yarn really loose in the beginning. It won't be too big, not unless you have a really big needle. And there's my bobby pin. So here's my 16th, hopefully. I haven't been counting, but you get the idea, right? Then I'm going to move my bobby pin up and put it right where I ended. See? So that's a new spot. But I'm not going to stop or chain up and go around again. I'm just going to continue right through it. So now I do 1 in this stitch, and then I do 2 in the next one. You can understand that pattern. The first one's 2 all the way around, and then the second one is 1, 2. That's how I count it. And then I go 1, and then the next one I do 2. So it's kind of like 1, double, 1, double, and 1, and double. When I say double, I want 2 in one stitch, and I go 1, double, and 1, double. So you'll know that you got around to the other side correctly, right, with the right amount of stitches and everything, because it should work out in the end to be completely even. So by the time you get to this bobby pin, you should end with your double, right? And I'm there because I'm going to do 1 and double, and I ended on a double right on my bobby pin, right? So no matter what I'm doing later in the pattern with this around and around not stopping stitch, I should end with my double on the bobby pin, because it is going to get a little more complicated. Alright, so move my bobby pin up, so I know that's the start of the new row. Now I'm going to do 2, so single, single, and then I'm going to put 2 in this one. Then I'm going to go 1 in this one, 1 in this one, and then 2 in this one. Right, so you're increasing 1 every time, and it's going to be super even and pretty simple. So I start my row with just the 1, and then another 1, and then a double, double in the same hole. Yeah, so I got 1, 2, and double. 1, 2, and double. So the idea is that you're going to go all the way around, continuing in this way until you have 7. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, double. When you finish that row, you're ready, because your circle will be wide enough that you can start going down into the base of the hat. So this will be so wide that you can just start going down. You can start doing your basket weave stitch or pretty much anything else that you want at that point. So right now I'm doing 1, 2 doubles. And if you ever lose track, you can just look back and you can be like, okay, I'm counting, because right now I have 4 singles in a row, so what does that mean I need to do? I need to backtrack, right? So I should only have 2 singles in a row at this point, and then a double. And if by the end of the line you're off by something, and you're like, uh-oh, I'm not ending on a double right next to the bobby pin, which is right here, but I'm exactly there because I got double, 1, 2, and double. Alright, moving my bobby pin up. increasing by 1. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 singles, and then double here. And then 1, 2, 3 singles, and then 2 in this hole. So I'm going to go around, so it should be 3 singles in a row with a double. The next one will be 4 singles in a row and then a double. The next one will be 5 singles in a row and then a double. And the next one will be 6 singles and then a double. Then the next one will be 7 singles all in a row and then a double. When you get to the end of that 7th one, you're going to end with your double right on your bobby pin. Okay? Then you're going to slip stitch, right? So right in there. Just pull it through. Chain 2 if you're doing double crochet or half double crochet, and then you can just start right into your basket weave stitch. Yes. There is, hold on, let me think for a minute. Yeah. So that first basket weave stitch, you're going to start from the front. You're going to go through, through this post here. So this is a post. You're going to go through that from the front and pull it all the way through. Oh yes, okay. Sorry, I'm got this in my head. Okay. So I did my slip stitch and I did my 2 chains. So in the beginning I was doing half double crochets, which means I was pulling them through all 3 loops up here. Now I'm going to start doing my normal double crochets. If you started from the beginning, that's fine. So I only pull through 2, and then I pull through another 2, right through that front post. And I go through the next front post, 2, and 2, and through the next front post. So even though this is a double, there's 2 in 1, I'm going to start right into that second post. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3 in these front posts. This will be the 7th row, so this will be much bigger, because right now this hat's going to be about that big, and you don't want it that big for a doll hat, right? Now I want to go straight from the back, so I hook it. It's kind of tricky. You got to put it back here and grab this post from the back and pull it through unscathed, pull it through 2, pull it through 2, and back. So you're working in your 3s, which is a magic number because it works out with your 7th row, and everything works out in the end somehow, and it's the right size. That's why I'm teaching you this, because it's magical. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the back, then I go 1, 2, 3 in the front again, right? So you're just working into these posts. I hope you can see that I'm not going up here into the regular part, but I'm going into this part, yeah, below it, and then I'm hooking it through so that these posts kind of stick out from each other, right? And I'm doing 3 of them. Okay, I'm almost done. So I'm going to keep going around like this, doing 1, 2, 3 in the front, 1, 2, 3 in the back, 1, 2, 3 in the front, 1, 2, 3 in the back, all the way around. Okay, you should end on an opposite one, right? You should end this row because this was front. You should end around the bobby pin on the backs, right? 1, 2, 3 in the back. You're going to want to go around twice with the same pattern, right? So the second row, after you finish this whole row, you're going to go back and you're going to go through this part right here. And you're going to make another one. You're going to go front, 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 back, 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 front, front, front. So 2 rows of the same pattern. That'll make it thick enough that it'll actually show the basket weave. Right? So 2 rows of the same. The third one that you're going to go around, then you can switch it up. So after this is 2 rows high, then you can come from the back and you're going to go back, back, back on all these fronts. You're going to do the opposite. So you're going to go back, 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 front, 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 back, 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 front, 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 right? It should be easy to look up a basket weave on YouTube if my description was a little unclear. Okay, I hope you're having a great day and you enjoyed this English crochet video. Tschüss!